Hello, and welcome back to Lora's Plans. Okay, it's been a hot minute since I've been able to take some time and film, and for that I do apologize, but life has been rather busy. And instead of trying to rush things or be frustrated, I went ahead and took the time that I needed to make sure I was getting the things I needed to work on for work and home and family in order. But I'm here today to kind of give you a look at this giant stack of planners and notebooks. I will say, much like several other people that I've watched, 2022 has kind of been one of those where what I thought I was going to do at the beginning isn't what I'm doing now, but yet I haven't really gotten rid of anything. I have given myself the permission, or maybe it's the freedom, to move in and out of different systems as I need for that time. And that has been really freeing. I think one of the things I've always struggled with in the past is that I had this idea that I wanted everything to be one way, and if I found planner piece, it would be in just one system. Well, that's not the case. First, this is my hobby. I love notebooks, I love planners, I love everything about them. And second, life changes. And so what you need or what you utilize may change with that as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'll show you what I have in the stack and realize not all of these get used every single day or even for weeks at a time, but I can ebb and flow in and out of them as I want to or need to. So with that, about recording this, I didn't really want to do a history of 2022. So I thought I'd go ahead and start with what I am currently utilizing and then show you some of the other things that I have set up and how I'm using those as well. The first thing that I want to start with, I'm going to move these off to this side. This is my personal kind of catch-all year at a glance notebook / planner that I'm using. It's a Hobonichi Cousin. And then for work, I have a Hobonichi Cousin A6 and a Weeks that I'm going to use. And we're going to look at both of those. So let's start with the Cousin. I think the last video that I showed, I was using the Cousin, and I still am. The Cousin I like, and one of the things I really like about it is I am able to capture everything that I need to, both future planning, at the time planning, post planning, all within this book. And this is the one that I find that I'm keeping most up to date. In fact, it is 100% up to date. Even if I jump into something else, I will come back here and make sure that all of the information is recorded. I do use the future planning spread for that. This is future planning, and you can see I have dates already mapped out through December of 2022. Then I do use the monthlies to record my monthly information, and you can see here in March, I was using it for work and home. I didn't really like that, so I did extract work from this planner, and I am just using it for personal planning now and as a snapshot of what we're doing. Here's the month of May, and as you can see, it hasn't been too busy, but it's, it is our life. And then I do have dates put in for June, but you can see it's not decorated. That's something we'll do together within this next week. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and flip over and show you my weekly pages, which in the last video I did go ahead and show you, but I want to let you know that as I've worked through this, things have kind of ebbed and flowed and changed as I needed them to. And I like flipping through them and seeing how I'm using this now. There's a lot of white space, and I'm okay with that. I don't really journal or memory keep in here. This truly is just planning out the week. I do a little bit of journaling and memory keeping in the daily pages, but mostly these weekly pages are for an overview snapshot of everything I have to do in the week, things I have to get done, some statistics and habit tracking goes along the side, and it's working really, really well. I think one of the things I had to do was realize I don't have to define this in any way. I can utilize different systems like the getting things done, elements that I like from that, elements that I like from the bullet journal method, and apply them to this notebook in a way that works for my brain. And so once I allowed myself to take that kind of creative liberty, things really started to work for me. And you can see, I'm just trying to flip through to give you an idea of what these pages look like. And they worked. Like, we went to Chicago here. That didn't have a lot going on. It had a lot of memory keeping, but not so much here. And then I was back, and we get into May. And you can see I've had some very busy weeks, and you're going to understand why these are so blank when we get into my work system. And then this is this week that we're on. Now, I have not done any pre-planning yet for next week. That's something we're going to do together. We'll set up this page and get ready. And now I'm going to go ahead and take you on to what my daily pages look like. And this is really, I think, where the meat of this planner really works for me. I started to use it like a daily page for a bullet journal, and I list out my important events and my tasks that I want to get done that day. I have a section for journaling. I can doodle. I can do whatever I want to on these pages, and I'm able to use them functionally. So this has become a functional planner that allows me to do what I liked to do in the bullet journal without all of, I guess, to be honest, the prep work and the migration issues. I don't have to migrate anything. It's all right here. And so I'm able to go ahead and do everything that I want to on these pages. And I'm just going to kind of, give you an idea of what they look like. I tipped something in that I had some notes that I had written. And that's what my days are looking like. And for me, this is really working. I got rid of a lot of the stuff that I was doing in the bullet journal and just stripped it back down to what I needed to do to be most productive. And I put that in here, and I'm allowing myself to decorate when I want to. And when I'm too busy and don't have time, I don't. But as you can see, I never seem to have a problem slapping down at least 1 or 2 stickers. Sometimes I doodle, sometimes I slap stickers down like I doodled. But for the most part, this is how this is working for me. And I'm loving it. And it's working. And so this is my go-to every day. I touch this every single morning. And I touch it multiple times throughout the day because I do keep my running log of things that I need to do each day on the daily page. And so this stays with me. It goes everywhere with me in the house. I do have a little notebook in the back, so if I need to take some extra notes and I want to attach it to the page, I can, or if I want to just leave it in here, I can do that as well. If it's not something important, I generally won't attach it. But if it's like a collection of something, I may take it, or if it's something very specific to that day, I may take it out and tip it in on the page that it corresponds with. So that is my Hobonichi cousin. This is the A5 cousin size. And I have thought about putting this off to the side a couple of times, and I just keep coming back to it. Now, let's talk about work. When I separated work out of here, I knew that there were a couple different things because work is so digital for me. I just wanted something quick and easy, something I didn't have to set up, something that I didn't have to manipulate. And so I went ahead and utilized my weeks along with the A6 cousin. And I have to say, this little cousin for work is perfect. It's the perfect size. I can capture the notes I need to on any given day. With my meetings, big things I need to remember. And it allows me to keep myself very, very structured and organized, which I absolutely love because that's how my brain works. But you can see there's some days that have more, some days that have less, and that works perfectly for me. On the Saturday and Sunday, I'm using them as notes pages when I need them, or just like a brain dump area. And if I don't, they stay blank. I do add a little decor in, especially in between the months, just because that's me. I like decor. So that is how the A6 is working. I will usually list out the important things I have for the day, the overriding tasks that I need to get done. And then this is a space for notes or even just my thoughts because, you know, we all have days where we need to jot down what we're thinking or feeling. And I believe that's important as well. And so I do that on a daily basis. This is actually utilized though in conjunction with my Hobonichi weeks. Now this is the one where I kind of map out and pre-plan my week. And you can see over here, I put all the events of the day. Here are the highlights and focus. And then on this side, I use it as a running to-do list. And this running to-do list is also found in the back. So each week gets a page because this is not enough space for me to get through all of the things I have to do for work in a week 90% of the time. And so I carry it over to a notes page in the back where I just use the Alistair method to catalog all of the different tasks that I have to get done in any given week. And so it starts here and continues here. And then I note the page that it corresponds with here on my weekly view. And so this is the heartbeat of my work. I don't take meeting notes in this notebook. This is 100% appointments and tasks, focus, and then my running task log for the week. So if something comes up that I need to get done, I get an email and there's something in there that I need to handle, it gets written on this running task list. When this list is full here, I flip to the back and start for the rest of the week. And I find that usually 2 pages is more than enough. As you could see, there's some weeks where I don't fill up the whole second page. I have yet had to go to a 3rd page. I'm not going to say it won't happen, but I have yet. So if we take a look at like this week, I'm here. I have some tasks outstanding here, and I have all of these tasks that I also need to get done here. And so this really keeps me focused in a way that doing it digitally doesn't really happen. Yes, we have Asana. Yes, we have a lot of those things, but I need a granular level for my tasks in handling and managing a team that then I will translate over into a digital environment. So that is the majority or the 2 kind of staple systems that I have going on right now. But you saw a lot of other notebooks, right? So one of the things, I'm going to move work off. One of the things I noticed about the Hobonichi cousin and the addition of this little notebook in the back, I've always had it, but I've wanted something a little more structured for a while. And so this month I went ahead and I broke out, my bullet journal, and I kind of decided to play around with it. I do a setup every month. And like for this one, I have my index pages. And then I do have a future log, just in case I don't have my cousin with me, I can jot something down there. And I went ahead and set up the month. So I have a month on 2 pages. I do have my habit tracker and sleep and step log. I had a meals plan page. I put it in here because I thought I needed it. I never use it. I just write it in my cousin and it works. And then I have a weekly snapshot. This is what's changed the most. So when I started this, I was doing long form journaling, like this is all journaling with another page, but I was also putting in tasks. And for the first couple of weeks of May, it was basically a duplication of what I was doing in the cousin. And that's when I like hit myself in the head and said, duh, you're being stupid, stop it. But the thing that goes in here that can't really go in the cousin all that easily are things like I'm doing a sleep study for myself, as well as I have a dog who is ill. And so I am tracking and keeping a log on his health and his eating and things like that. And that's stuff that you can't really put into the cousin. And so I'm considering my Bujo to kind of be my sidekick. And I'm allowing myself now to use it as a long form journal for the day, as well as that collections keeper, right? That element that allows me to keep track of everything that's going on. And like Mother's Day, I had some handmade cards for my kids and I put those in there. So my bullet journal has kind of progressed from a planner to a collections keeper, snapshot of what's going on in our life, and a long form journal. And I'm okay with that. It's actually really working. Let me flip to this week. So this week, I went ahead and did the weekly overview, and I started the week thinking, yeah, okay, I'll keep doing this. And that's when I realized, okay, this is getting stupid. I was just recreating stuff and I decided it wasn't worth it. So I went ahead and gave myself permission to just start long form journaling, and I like it. It's really working. So when I went to go set up this next week we're going into, I did a quick snapshot of appointments, my menu, my shopping list, highlights, my habit tracker, and this is a running to-do list, like task log, brain dump, and my habits are down here at the bottom. Then just a little section for notes, because even though the Hobonichi cousin has this part, and I can track some things in there, like my habits don't really work in there very easily. Menus and shopping lists don't really work in there very easily. Notes and highlights and scheduling works beautifully, perfectly. But there's still things that I haven't figured out how to put them in there in a way I like. So I gave up. I like them in here. So that's what I'm going to do. And you can see I created a page just dedicated to running tasks, brain dumping type stuff. And then I have a blank page where I will start my long form journaling for next week. And then in June, I will go ahead and do a monthly setup where I have my decoration. I get to put my pretties in here. I get to journal in here. I get to keep my trackers going and just adapt and flow as I need it. This has been, I think, the most freeing element, in that I can create and use this pre-printed, very structured planner in a way that's very similar to this without duplicating. And yet the two of them work really well together. And I'll be honest, I usually only touch my bullet journal first thing in the morning and then before I go to bed. The rest of the day I am in here and in these. But there were more in that stack that I showed you. So I'm going to be perfectly honest. I have played around. I do have weeks that I can use when on the go and out and about, and you can see there's some weeks nothing goes in here, and there's other weeks that things are used, and that's okay. I do have it set up. I have it sitting in my planner cart in case I have one of those weeks where I don't really want to use my cousin. I have too much going on. I can just grab this instead. This is great for travel. And then I can come back and update my cousin with it. So this stays in my planner cart. I plan on having it there because sometimes you just feel like going smaller. But when I fell down the rabbit hole of A6 for work, I also bought one couple. Yeah, I know, I have a problem. For personal, and there for a while I was using this, and I do have it back planned all the way through from January forward. But it was Robin from Talks from the Heart who kind of got me to the point where I realized I can use this for just kind of like a big picture, kind of fun, just putting stickers down, but to track what I'm reading, what I'm watching, what I did or what I played that day, one highlight from the day, and one piece of gratitude. And do I have the ability to do that in my Bujo? Yeah, I do. And this is where this one is just for fun. I don't have to do it. If I want to do it, I do. And if I don't, I don't. I don't care if there's blank pages. I don't care if it's perfect. And the other thing is I can always come back in and fill this in a couple of days at a time. Or I can do it every night, which so far I've been doing it every night. And I've played with the format, played with everything, but I really, really enjoy this. Plus, oh my goodness, this little cover, it's Marie Lee Crafts. They're fabric, folio and TN covers. I have a couple of them. Hold on. I have this one, which I adore. That's a total squirrel moment, I know. But I have this one, which I just love. And I have this in A6 size and A5. And sometimes I feel like, yeah, I just want this lovely little cow. But like this one is different. This one is a folio cover, and it's perfect for the A6. And I just keep this in my little planner cart and pull it out when I want to or not. But I love these birds and these flowers. This is spring and summer to me. So she also has a Christmas gnome that I'm going to buy in the fall to use during the holiday season. But once I got that one, I wanted these, and they're so reasonably priced. This one is different because it is a TN, and I added the extra spine on it. So there are actually 8 strings to hold notebooks in. And right now I just have this set up with a blank avec, because as my cousin keeps getting chunkier and chunkier, I'm worried that writing is going to be a problem. So this is set up if I want to go into it. I was able to get the second half of the year avec, a friend and I, she's not going to use it, and so she gave it to me. So I am going to have that in case I decide to do July through December in the avec version instead, because my other one's getting very, very, very chunky. But we shall see. You know my aversion to migrating anything. But as she gets chunky, I think I could just put her in here, and this will definitely accommodate her girth. But yeah, so anyway, that's what I have there. And guys, I'm just happy, and I have options, and I'm able to move in and out of things, and I'm able to keep one place very, very solid. And for my life, both work and home, I can honestly say that these are working beautifully. And when I gave myself the ability to rethink the idea of what this journal was going to do for me, and adapt it and use the pieces of the bullet journal that I wanted to in here and extract the functional planning portion of it out of it, it really started to click and work, and I'm really excited and happy about it. So that's where I'm at 25 minutes later, and you have the whole story. So I do plan on trying to upload a little bit more. Work is hopefully calming down a little bit, generally does as we move into third quarter and fourth quarter for sure. But I am going to be filming a plan with me on both the weekly and my cousin, and setting up the month of June in my bullet journal. And when we do that, I may go ahead and show you how I prep for the month in my work journals, my work system. But those will be two separate videos. So I would do personal on one and work on the other. But that's it. If you've stuck around all these months wondering where I'm at, now you know. I think when you look at what life has been like work-wise, you kind of get a picture that didn't really have time to do a lot. Anything above and beyond. Really, life has been quite consuming. And so that's where I've been. And that's okay. I love my job and I love my work, but I wanted to check in with you guys and show you what's going on. If there's anything that you saw in the video or you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I love it when you guys do that. It makes me happy. And I promise you, I will see you in the next couple weeks. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time.